This really is one of those shows that I wasn't overly invested in throughout. I respect it more than anything else. Going into Chief of War, I was curious to check out the show. It has, obviously, Jason Momoa in the lead, who I like. Apple as a streaming service puts a lot of money into their shows. In the production, they get a lot of great talent to be the showrunner, stuff like that. And so, if they have a new show, I'm going to be curious in checking it out because, above all else, they want to deliver good quality content. And there's clearly a lot of love in front of and behind the screen for Hawaiian heritage here. It has an epic atmosphere, brutal, violent sequences, but I just wasn't overly crazy about it. I found myself just thinking it was okay. Something I feel like might be important to start with is that I'm not a huge fan of stories that really dive into history. There really are some outliers there though, and I really struggle to say this because I think that a great story is going to be a great story. It doesn't matter if you're not interested in the topic, a great story is just going to have you interested in it, and the great storytelling there especially. And I thought that this show had a really interesting concept. It's a concept I was entirely unfamiliar with. I'm obviously just a white guy and I don't really know too much about that side of history, and it dives deep into the lore and heritage history. So maybe it's just a story that just didn't really hook me. But I do think that this show is going to work for a lot of people. I found that it meandered a lot. There's a portion of the show that's kind of has Jason Momoa's character going away from his family, and that is where I damn near lost interest in the show entirely. I struggled to get through it, but I did, and I was very happy with the outcome. I think that the finale in the latter half of the season was the best part. Obviously, being a show surrounding history, it feels like a time capsule. You really do feel like, from the production value, which is excellent, it feels cinematic. The production design, the costumes, all of it is superb. It's beautifully shot, really showing the landscape on display. And like I said, it has this epic atmosphere, so much so to the point where the finale is absolutely brutal. They do not hold anything back. It is gory, it is violent. I feel like I don't have the craziest reactions to violence, but when it's full-on violence, like, and it goes really for it, I will be reacting, and this show had me reacting in that finale. I was sitting in my room and I was going, damn, this is intense. I think this is one of Jason Momoa's strongest performances as well, especially when you get into the emotionally heavy stuff in the latter half. He's subdued at the start, but slowly shows the rage boiling through him and shows off a good bit of range from him as an actor. This is a show that feels completely like something The Rock would be a part of, whether that's producing or acting in it. And he did not have his name on it at all. Apparently this is a project that he has been trying to figure out and just like get together for a long time, and Jason Momoa beat him to it. I mentioned how I felt this story can meander. I also think that it pretty much goes where you think it's going. While I would say I found myself struggling to be truly emotionally compelled for a good chunk of it, I think in the back half there are some moments that really did take me aback. Like I said, Jason Momoa's performance is a big contribution to that in terms of really selling the emotion and the heavy weight that you can feel without getting into spoilers. There's a complete tragedy that happens later on in the season around episode 7, and it is just brutal and really makes you feel honestly sick. So I wasn't crazy emotionally invested in the first half. I would say that the second half started to win me over. But just the story, I thought that it just meandered, and a good chunk of it I found to be boring, and I don't like saying when things are really boring, but I gotta be honest. But when you get to the back half of the season, I think, like I said, it's the best part about it, and the finale is insane. It's very intense. It feels cinematic in the sense of it's just like epic. It also sets up a season 2 without getting into spoilers, which I found to be very surprising because I thought this was just a straight up miniseries, but they do leave room open. Really, they actually are pretty much just straight up setting up a second season. Any show that is on a grand level with epic action and big, massive storytelling that has a lot of different plot lines and characters, it's going to be compared to Game of Thrones till the end of time. This show is going to be easily compared to Game of Thrones, especially Jason Momoa has actually a good connection between the two. Jason Momoa obviously being a part of both of them, and I can see the comparisons there. I think they are appropriate kind of comparisons, especially just the production value level. Like, while some of the green screen shots look kind of rough, the visual effects aren't the best, you can very much tell where Apple put all their money into. So I would say I kind of have so-so feelings on this season. I don't know if I'd necessarily watch a season 2 if it gets renewed. Like I said, I respect it, especially just for telling the story that up until this point has really gone unnoticed in fiction, I would say. From a production level, it is just incredibly well done, and the performances are great. I just found the story to not be overly compelling to me. It didn't really draw me in like I wanted it to. It meanders and can feel predictable. I think there's going to be a lot of people loving this show and being very invested in it. I'm going to give Chief of War a C+, and I would recommend checking this show out if you are curious. It's worth giving a shot. I think you could be very compelled by it, or you could be like me, who has kind of so-so feelings on it, but I didn't hate it. I enjoyed chunks of it, but just not everything. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on the show. If you've seen it, in the comments down below. Are you excited for the show? And if you've seen it, what did you think of it so far? I want to thank you so much for watching this review. If you did enjoy it, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, look forward to more content coming soon. My name is Ben, people call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.